the centre today, a rather surprising choice of Graham Annesley. Greg McCallum, who was #1 referee just a week or so ago, handled the reserve grade here today. The wide shot from the tower of the Sydney Cricket Ground, looking down on the Sydney Football Stadium. As the referee checks with both sides, and will now blow time on for this major preliminary semi-final. Belcher kicks off straight away down to Steve Folkes. Players, particularly Lazarus, not getting off him.
Yes, well, the referee on the State Bank replay has really signified what his intentions are right from the word go. That's the opening kick-off taken by Folkes, and within seconds there was a penalty. So hopefully he'll keep them lying off each other.
So Thomas restarts, and away it goes to Brandon Lee. Folkes. I should say. Now Tunks. A lot of pressure on the Canberra forwards, particularly Sam Backo. As Farah looks for touch. Ferguson is there to intercept it. Caught by Lamb. And 2 footballs on the field. Get rid of one. Ferguson plays it. Lands from dummy half right to the quarter line. Here's Backo, the man with a lot of pressure on him. And look at them swarming in on Big Sam. Coach Sheens. Well, penalty's gone to Canberra.
Well, the tackle still seemed to be moving when it looked to me as though that he lost the ball legitimately, but obviously the referee has called held, although the tackle was still moving forward. In other words, Backo's impetus was enough to keep the momentum going.
I was about to say Kate Sheens left it until the last minute to include Sam Backo in the starting lineup. There he is now. He hasn't been in great form in recent weeks. He's lost the football, now it's a penalty to Canberra. Again, taking the ball and trying to steal it.
Well, the Canterbury forwards are really trying to work on Backo. They realise that in his present form he's a fairly fragile player. He lost that legitimately too. There's no suggestion of it being stolen. It popped out. They might have lost the 2 penalties, but I think that they've proven that Sam Backo has got a fragile pair of hands and does have a work rate at the moment like a wharfie.
A lot of pressure on Big Sam. Peter Jackson giving him a word or 2 of encouragement. And Gary Belcher will attempt this long-range shot at goal. He's about 4 metres inside Canterbury's half. What's the wind conditions down there, Bill?
Well, actually, it's a fairly strong northeasterly in favour of Canterbury in this first half. This is going to make it quite a difficult kick for Belcher. I doubt if he'll kick it dead, so it'll have to go straight.
Well, he's certainly got the points on the board this year, Belcher. The leading point scorer with 210 points. And he's kicked 85 goals from 123 attempts. But this is a long one for him. Of concentration, Gary Belcher. You want to kick it dead if you can't kick the goal. It's going to fall short. Taken by Farah.
Well, that's a calculated risk they're going to obviously take with him, but that seemed to me a bit of a futile thing to do.
Canterbury in possession, but Elcham playing it on the quarter line. Nissan runs from dummy half. Now Terry Lamb. And here's another penalty to Canterbury. This time it's the Canberra players offside, bit of a scuffle. So the penalties coming pretty quickly in the first few minutes of this game. Farah will kick for touch. Remind you, the winner of this match will play Cronulla next week in the major semi-final. The loser takes on the very strong Balmain side. Not sure that either side will fancy playing Balmain in their present mood. Now here are the Bulldogs. So Paul Dunn 32 metres out from the Canberra line. Now Lamb into the open spaces. Ferguson's back there for it, but it's been taken by Nissen. But the penalty has gone to Canberra. Annesley ruling that Nissen was in front of the kicker.
Well, it would have required Nissen to be a very, very fast player to get there in time. That camera shot doesn't show really, but I think you can judge from where he suddenly looms into the picture that the referee was correct there. Nissen is a useful winger without being a real speedster.
Well, the real danger for Canberra there was that neither Belcher or Ferguson were in any hurry to get to that ball, so caught napping. Referee saved them both, I think, by awarding the penalty. Now it's the Raiders bringing the ball back out near halfway. The kick from Stewart. It's massive. Kick from the little man into the in-goal area. Doesn't look like it's going to go dead. There's plenty of chases there on Thorne. Can he get round them? No, he can't. Great support of their kicker.
Yes, an incredible chase there. Just watch Thorne now as he tries to get out of it. They come out of the woodwork. Look at this. 1, 2, and then 3 finally come in and really belt him to the ground. That's the way to do it. Great support play. Great chasing.
So Andrew Farrar with the line drop out. The Raiders immediately now on the attack. Belcher. Good idea to kick away from this man. This is the reason why he busted 2 tackles. Langmack has got up holding a shoulder. Lazarus brought down.
He's in trouble, Langmack.
Lance now bounces back out of a tackle from Peter Tunks. There's Langmack carrying that shoulder. Stewart. Kevin Walters. Peter Jackson stands, looks to unload. Goes back inside the defence. Hadn't come up completely on the inside. Kept alive for Backo now. Canterbury not putting the man down, just outside their own quarter line. Stewart again. A little kick out wide for his wing three-quarter Ferguson. The ball's bouncing. Sitting up. Ferguson's going to score. That's a try. A remarkable bounce, but Canterbury guilty of standing back on their heels.
Probably the most amazing try I've ever seen in my life. When I go back about 40 years in rugby league, this is astonishing. The little kick put through there nicely, very nicely by Stewart. The bounce is up. They seem to take it very casually, don't they? And suddenly Ferguson decides there's a try on. What a dreadful blunder by Glenn Nissen there. See it again from another angle. Here's the little grubber kick through. Very, very good little one. It pops up on its end, as a rugby ball will do. Backs over the top. Ferguson's there and just puts the ball down. There's no difficulty at all. Reminiscent of the try scored against... there was that Canterbury Bankstown a few weeks ago.
Balmain and Penrith.
Balmain and Penrith, yes. Well, that's an astonishing try, really. That one's come out of the woodwork, and I dare say Johnny Ferguson has never had an easier try in his life.
20 tries in 88 for the flyer from Canberra, the leading try scorer. Belcher from right on the touchline. Great start for the Raiders. Just what you need in semi-final football. He struck this one pretty well. It's swinging round. Great goal. The Raiders 6, Canterbury 0.
Glenn Nissen and Neil Baker ought to get on the phone together.
Well, Nissen did have an opportunity just the second bounce before it did sit up. He really should have made sure of it and taken it over the touchline or even dead in goal. So Canberra now to come back through a kick straight away through Stewart.
Oh, geez, he gives this ball a belt, Stewart, too. Look at that.
Well, Billy Anderson mentioned they were into the breeze. He's certainly going to gain a lot of territory for them in the second half. Look at this defence coming in now. Canterbury just running it from dummy half, not trying to make any mistakes. There's Big Mal Meninga watching on from the Raiders bench. Lee was under the tackle there of Backo. Back for Farah. Just gets his kick in. It came off a Canberra hand, I think. No, straight off the side of the boot, in fact. All the way back for the scrum.
Well, there's two men that Canterbury would dearly love to have out there, Steve Mortimer and Dave Gillespie. First 10 minutes or so certainly has gone Canberra's way. The ball has bounced their way. Stewart working the scrum. Eventually it comes out with the feed. Big test for Ricky Stewart out there, Bill.
Yes, it is, but I think it's a test he'll come through admirably. Of course, he's a former rugby union international, hasn't spent a lot of time in rugby league, but believe me, this fellow is a great kicker of the football. He'll get immaculate distance and is spot on almost every time he puts his foot to the ball. One try is already a testimony to that.
That was a forward pass there from the dummy half.
Only by a metre. Here's Stewart, the man Bill was talking about. He's gone to the quarter line. He's made the break. Pass back inside was for Jackson. It's been picked up by Lance.
That's gone
Well, that
forward too.
rolled forward too.
Mr. Annesley having a very doubtful day on the ruling of the tries, and the ball nearly touches him in flight.
Gee whiz, Canterbury have been put under pressure too.
Well, this is what we made at the start of the match. We said that a big shock at this semi-final, Ian, was the fact that Annesley had been appointed to the game. McCallum, who was supposedly the #1 referee over the last, 4 to 6 weeks of football, found himself #3 today in a reserve grade semi-final.
He's got to count himself very unlucky, McCallum. Canterbury almost on the corner line. Back for Farah. Again able to get his kick in. Towering punt sends Belcher across to his own quarter line before he got to it. Now he's got Martin with him. Takes the tackle. This is Martin with the ball now. Caught by Langnack, who seems to have recovered after having his shoulder hanging rather sorely before. Stewart. Kick sends Alchin across. He's on his own quarter line. Back into the centre field. Saw Sam back over in the other way. I don't blame him. 10 metres from the halfway mark. Hagan. Now Brandon Lee. Backo coming across with a very solid tackle.
Yeah, Sam Backo has got himself involved in this game. There was a good legitimate tackle. The arm going right across the top of the chest and belting the player down.
Now Robin Thorne putting a kick downfield, which is over Belcher's head and will go dead.
Yes, well, just while we've got a moment here, let's have a look at this lower grade situation. Under 21s, East 29, Souths 12. East just poured on the pressure in the last few minutes of the second half. And the reserve grade, East's 18, Parramatta 8. So East have got it done very well.
Now this is Belcher with the football for the Raiders. Dean Lance. Done there to take him. Wallace dummy half, got a pass away to Lazarus. Back inside for Coyne. That looked very dangerously forward too. Very close to the mark. Back for Stewart. This kick is down for Nissen. Nissen just in his own quarter. And away from Jackson. Gone away from Jackson. Still good running. Good run from Nissen. Ferguson's got to him. That's a fine run from Glenn Nissen. Making up partly for his mistake earlier as Tunks full of running. 32 out now from the Canberra line. Across for Langnack. 3 Canberra Raiders there to pull him down. Back for Hagan now and Lamb. And then to Farah. Backo again leading the charge in defence. Done. Got inside the quarter. It's the last tackle now for the Bulldogs. Back for Lamb. Lamb's kick across for Belcher. Up he goes. It's loose. It's anybody's football. That's a try. That is a try in the corner. Brandon Lee, the try scorer. Well, it's got to be said much the same way that Canberra scored their first try.
Well, another unexpected unexpected result from a bomb on this occasion, so nerves are all to go out there and iron bark as we watch Lamb put the ball up. Now everyone appears to be onside in this one, but they make a miserable hash of it. And suddenly Brandon Lee finds himself out on the side and away from the defence, and he just goes down and puts it on. It's a very, very easily taken try, but the three Canberra Raiders get in each other's way here. The two of them fall over one. Jackson was there. He was one of the ones that tripped over. Ferguson trying desperately to stop Brandon Lee score the try. Again, everyone apparently onside. Across they come, looking Belcher with his eyes in the air, not really caring what happened. And suddenly the ball goes to the right and Brandon Lee gets the try. So that is another astonishing try. I can only put a lot of the things that are happening here today to dead set nerves.
Well, both tries have come from kicks, haven't they? And first of all, a mistake and a very good bounce for Canberra when Nissen couldn't take it. And then the mix-up in the Canberra in goal is Terry Lamb.
But why would Belcher come tearing across there, not even looking, and barrel into one of his own players and knock him out of the way? That put another one down too.
I don't know the answer to that.
No, well, it's very unusual football for an international player like Belcher to suddenly come across there without looking.
Well, there really was a lack of talk there. The man coming deep should be his ball to be standing deep in the in goal coming into it, and that was Belcher's ball. So there was obviously a lack of communication between he and Jackson.
Well, he didn't take his eyes off the ball at any stage, so that's quite right. He did his job. Maybe the other two should have watched where he was running, but anyway, the upshot was a hell of a mess.
A metre in from touch. Terry Lamb, 58 goals from 99 attempts, and that one is just to the right of the post. So Canberra will retain the lead. It's 6-4. The Raiders over the Bulldogs.
Came up with the fumble, Belcher, with the restart down deep. Taken by Nissen. Straight across field, tries to straighten up, wrapped up by Coyne. Alshin in a dummy half, and wherever he goes from there, he does again. Taken right on the borderline. Backo involved in the tackle. Busy start to the game for him. Here's Tunks. Backo's chasing him across field. Gets another addition to his tackle count. Lee, the try scorer. It's a valuable metres gain. Farah. Canterbury now with his penalty. Canterbury now in a good position to launch another raid. Lee, the dummy from Alshin. Back for Langmack. Done. Man that certainly can unload the ball. Needs some support runners. Dummies back across the ruck goes Hagan for Farah. Canterbury no doubt missing Gillespie in the forwards as their main ball runner. Lee again takes the ball up. For Langmack, the dummy, back for Dunn. About 8 metres out now. Last tackle. Alshin, Lamb, shaped a kick. They left it open for Lamb, and Langmack will score next to the post. Canberra sat back and just waited for Terry Lamb to do what he liked.
Yes, the skills of Terry Lamb were all on display here. He runs, he props off the left foot, goes straight and hard, gets it back on the inside to Langmack, who was very well. He could have scored another 4 or 5 yards. There was no impediment to him going forward. But watch Lamb here as he dummies, weaves. The little step at the end, really wrong-footed the defence properly, and he goes in and scores the very, very good try as Langmack. Now here again from the head-on shot, we'll see all the beautiful things. There his left lance for dead, gets a nice pass back inside to Langmack. The lock forward, trailing him all the time, as good lock forwards will, and that's a very good try. But a bit of a slack try in terms of Canberra. I don't think their defence was spot on there.
Langmack the try scorer.
Tunks has gone to the head bin, and Mark Sargent in 23 has taken his place.
So Lamb right next to the post. Vital break for them. Great breakthrough for Canterbury. 10-6 they lead the Raiders. So there's Sargent, the replacement for Tunks. Canterbury, the ball fielded by Farah. Back for Nissen now. Sargent keen to get straight into the action. Good solid run up the middle. Lee. Back for Farah. Very keen to kick both sides from close to their territory on early tackles. Belcher, well, he can run straight across field. He's trying to get to the outside of Hagan. He can't do it. Good chasing from both the halves, in fact. Again, good defence coming in from the Canterbury forwards. Canberra very, very bunched at the moment. And with the entire team all around the ruck. And back they go for Bacco. Straight into Langmack. Brushes him aside. Good ball around the back for Jackson. Makes it out to halfway. To his feet very, very quickly. Ferguson for Stewart. Nobody home, he says, down deep. It's not going to find touch. It's going to roll in goal for Alston to bring it back. Right across field. Now he changes direction. He beat Gilbert. And it'll be Canterbury to bring it out from their own quarter.
It's Nissen. Up to the quarter line, just about anyway. There's Tunks in the head bin. Getting some work done. I hope they don't mess his hair up. Now Canterbury inspired by that second try, and oh well, a terrible mistake in there.
Yes, well, Joey Thomas got in the way there, or Curry got in the way of Joey Thomas at dummy half, and that's a mistake they can ill afford to put on, because Canberra get the scrum feed back in this situation.
Stewart works it for the Canberra side, but we'll have it again. And this time the penalty has gone to Canterbury. And Walters being spoken to by the referee. It's a good kick for touch, and Thomas will restart. 30 metres out from the Canberra line. It's with Hagan. Now on to Lee. Sargent. Just for Alchin. And then on to Hagan. But back to Lamb. It's a new combination this year, the half and 5/8 for Canterbury. Working very well so far. Now here's Hagan. Can't offload. Only about 15 metres out. As Lamb got it away to Curry, but the knock-on will be played.
I think the pass was forward anyway, but the referee wasn't forced to make a ruling on it because that one. The ball was knocked on.
Well, it's quite dramatic. If Curry takes it, he puts Nissen over in the corner. All he had to do was draw Ferguson.
This time it's back for Belcher. And then on for Walters. Still working on Tunks. Belcher's into the clear. Looks for Ferguson. The kick in field. Ferguson might get the bounce. Well, he's picked it up anyway. Still going, Ferguson. Still going. Jeez, alive, player. They just can't put this fella down, can they? Belcher dummy half now, and away it goes to Stewart, and then on to Jackson. Jackson lines one up for the winger Martin, who's put it down, been picked up by Thorne for Canterbury. He'll be pushed into touch on the halfway mark.
Yeah, Farah very expertly picked that ball up and gave it straight away to Thorne. I thought there was a moment there that Canterbury might have ended up scoring in the corner. But there, that ball's put down. See Farah loom on the ball, right onto the ball, and get straight away the pass out to Thorne. But the defence was there too.
Having some trouble with these scrums. It's going to move right in on the 10-metre mark, where it should be in the first place. We are talking. Finger pointing. And in they go. Screwed right around. Canberra still come up with it. Jackson has it now. Hang back over the top. Stewart. Not on the halfway mark. Inside for Coyne. 5 metres inside Canterbury's half. Back for Stewart. Inside pass for Backo. And Backo pushed back strongly. Very strong defence from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Paul Gunn, the main protagonist that he had on that tackle, but by gee, there was a strong bit of work, because Backo coming at a rate of knots is not an easy mark to stop dead in his tracks and then drive him backwards.
Jackson for touch. Peter Tunks making his way down to the edge of the tunnel. Here they come, the Raiders. Just 12 metres out now. Martin. Hit solidly by Sargent. Stewart calls for it. Lazarus had overrun the pass just about. Got one hand to it.
I don't believe he was even supposed to be involved in that move. I think he came in between the dummy half and the first receiver quite poorly, quite inexpertly.
Yeah, I'm quite sure the ball was meant for Stewart. There's the scrums. 3-0 to Canberra. The penalties 5-3 their way. Make it 5-4.
Geez, they get themselves up there 15 metres from the line. Somebody makes an error, then they give a penalty away, and suddenly they're 40 or 50 yards downfield. It makes it very, very difficult. You've got to play percentage football.
It's not really allowing themselves a chance to build on their game, the Raiders. Canterbury, another big kick from Farah. Peter Tunks back to the sideline. Brandon Lee takes it up yet again. Canterbury will be looking for this ball control, the variety around the rucks from Hagan, also Langmack and Lamb. Sargent to his feet. Hagan across the blind side. 10-6 the Bulldogs lead. Alshan for Lamb. Moves, dummies, run around the flick back for Farah, stands in the tackle. Now he gets the ball unloaded to Folks for Thomas. Out for Dunn, they have some numbers. He should have kept going the same way. Now Lamb will score. In the end, he got a great ball away. I thought he might have hesitated for a moment, but Lamb comes up with the 4 points.
Beautiful try, well constructed. A lot of thought gone into it. Alchin and Lamb work a run around in the middle of the field. Back to Farah. Farah's strength keeps him on his feet. He's still able to offload. Gets it away nicely there to Folks. Folks out to Thomas. Thomas on to Dunn. Watch the Statue of Liberty play. Holds his hand out. The ball's on the end of it. And Lamb takes it and away he goes. That's one that we've seen around for years, that particular end of the move. But there it is. The change of direction was good. The good strength shown by Farah, their inability to put him down was very instrumental in that. The pass onto Folks was a good one. Onto Thomas. Now watch this big fellow Lamb. Just hold the hand out and there was the ball. And Lamb took it and he's in for a very clean, very good, very well worked 4-pointer.
Terry Lamb, professional footballer. Any future possible employment opportunities would be welcome, I would suggest, out his way. 7 tries for him in 88. There's Tunks back on the field. Sargent back to the bench. Lamb from out wide again. back after the try. Dean Lance laying down the law to the Raiders. Finding their defence very easily busted at the moment. Now Lamb strikes that one well. He's pulled it away. No goal. So the Bulldogs with that lead of 14 points to 6 now.
Well, beautiful, almost summer-like conditions here at the football stadium for this very good crowd. Really enjoying it. And this Canberra side, after starting so strongly in the first 10 minutes or so when it was all their way, now have an 8-point deficit to look at. They need to take stock of the situation. Cut out some silly mistakes that are creeping into their game. Well, it was a strong start from Canberra, Bill.
Well, it was a strong start, but unfortunately in the last, say, 10 minutes, they've been missing first-up tackles, say, 10 metres either side of the play of the ball. And if Brent Todd's the solution to that problem, well, Coach Tim Sheens had better get him on, because there's another miss.
Indeed. Brandon Lee was able to take advantage of the sloppy defence and get up towards the halfway mark. Back for Farah again. 2 bounces, and Belcher is there and immediately will return the kick. Left to Langmack to pick up. There's the man Bill was talking about, Brent Todd. Thomas from dummy half. Here comes Tunks. Dean Lance the tackler. Hagan. Little dummy and straight ahead. About 30 metres out from the Canberra line, and Brandon Lee, who's played very strongly in this game, takes it well inside Canberra's quarter now.
He's making a bit of a mockery of the defence, Brandon Lee.
Sure is. Lamb puts the bomb in the air. Belcher, more pressure for him. Up he goes, takes it calmly this time.
Yes, Belcher was never in doubt of taking this one. It was a good bomb. There were plenty of players in close proximity when he took it, but he didn't take his eye off the ball, and they come out to the quarter.
Now Coyne runs away with it. Dunn makes the tackle. Walters, Kevin Walters, playing at 5'8" today. Back to Stewart. They got it on to Gilbert. The ball is loose, been picked up by Canterbury.
Gee whiz, they can't afford mistakes like that.
They sure can't. It's Tunks who fell on it. Now it's back for Dunn. These silly mistakes from Canberra could prove very, very costly. Langmack wrestles his way up towards the quarter line. Here's Tunks now. Thomas went ahead, dummied to Tunks. Finally got it back to Langmack. Langmack takes the tackle. Canberra have made 5 handling errors compared to Canterbury's 1. As Tunks now takes it. And he's pulled down 12 metres out. It's the last tackle for Canterbury. Across to Hagan and then on to Lamb. Back for Hagan, a little kick ahead. Bouncing straight up into the arms of Ferguson though. And Ferguson comes across field, beats 2 tackles and almost gets to the quarter line. Good run from him.
Superb run from Ferguson. That one really a first-class effort. Very good evasion, enormous strength.
So Belcher now will play it on the quarter line. Bradley Clyde, who hasn't seen much of the ball. Wallace from dummy half, got it away to Gilbert and then back to Lance. But strong defence from Canterbury, moving up very quickly. Now it's back for Stewart. His kick over Nissen's head and out on the full.
Gee, not by much. Not by much. Just watch it now. Oh, about 18 inches outside the line. It would have been a beautiful kick. Torpedo punt. State Bank replay showed it beautifully.
Now Lance is getting spoken to.
Interesting from this scrum that Terry Lamb's going to feed the ball, and I noticed Michael Hagan having a yarn to Alstrom to see if they're going to work a move.
That's all they do. It's gone with the feed. Hagan has it now, and then on to Farah. Hagan back to dummy half. Elchin's beaten one, still running strongly, 10 metres out. Good run from Elchin. Langmack on the lead. Hagan found Dunn. Still on that 10-metre line. That's the last tackle now for Canterbury. Langmack. The pass which has been intercepted by Clyde. Clyde's into the clear. He hasn't got a lot of pace though, Clyde. Thorne's come from behind him and pulled him down right on the halfway mark. And it's just as well for Canterbury that he doesn't have a great amount of pace. Here's Belcher. Now can they capitalise on this, the Raiders? Belcher in and out, and finally 10 metres inside Canterbury's half. Pull down. Across to Walters. Bit of indecision. On to Kevin Walters and then on to Clyde again. 32 metres out from the Canterbury line.
Who's probably looking for a little bit of a rest after that run.
Ricky Stewart gave it away to Gilbert. Gilbert running strongly. Got to the quarter line before he's pulled down. Golden opportunity now for Canberra if they can put something on. And the penalty. They get the penalty. Dunn was holding Gilbert down. Well, at least that was a ruling.
There's Ashley Gilbert tackled on the quarter line, and Dunn just refuses to let him go. He's claiming that he's being held down. Still got the hand underneath, but the referee's wise to that. And they're taking a tap. Here they go.
Quick tap from Jackson for Belcher through the dummy. Went back inside. Interesting they didn't go for the 2 points. 14-6. It's still only early days. They're taking the gamble on the try. Backo wrapped up again. 11 metres out, the Raiders. Desperate for a try before half-time. Gilbert. Certainly a lot more running required from their forwards.
Andrew Farrah's been offside for the last 3 play the balls.
Now they go wide. Stewart. Flick back in. That looked a touch forward to Coyne. 5 metres out, the Raiders. Walters from dummy half. Back inside for his brother. Knocked back. Last tackle now. Stewart. They go right for Jackson. The kick in behind the Canterbury defence. Alston's made a meal of it, and Thorne's kicked it dead.
Yes, discretion being the better part of valour. The State Bank replay shows a moment of panic here in the Canterbury defence. Hagan has to really fall over there. He couldn't do much about it. The ball struck his hand, and Thorne came in later, and we ricked it over the dead ball line. That was the only thing to do. Don't muck about with it. When there's an error made, get rid of it.
So with about 3 minutes to half-time, the wipe of the brow for Farah with the line dropout, and a very, very big kick. That ball's gone nearly 60 metres on the fly. Back for Martin. The Raiders with 6 tackles. Lance looks around, finds Clyde. Runs into a complete dead end in Farah up high and Tunks down low. Walters for Coyne through the dummy. Not taken by Joe Thomas. Stewart wants the ball back across the ruck. Puts Backhouse through a bit of a gap. Wrapped up by Tunks. And also Farah again. Ferguson in a dummy half. Out for Walters. Gilbert. Looked to shape. The shape to throw it out wide. It's forced to go back on the inside for Coyne. Nowhere to go. Canterbury defence swarms in. Last tackle situation again for the Raiders. Stewart's down, receiving some attention. Walters, long pass out for Belcher. He's going to run it. Up right for Martin. Looking for the kick on the inside. They've got chasers coming in the shape of Belcher. Just takes the kick and back to the quarter line. Good defence from Canterbury.
Yes, the ball went wide here in the State Bank replay. Out there to number 2, Paul Martin. He put the right foot centre kick in. That was all he could really do. There are plenty of defenders between. But Alcham there was very sound in defence. Really was not put under any pressure. So the ball comes out to the quarter line for a tap restart, which Terry Lamb's done, and they're underway again.
For sure, Stewart was still down receiving attention. Dunn. He's bringing the ball away. Bill, the Canterbury forwards certainly are making bigger inroads than the Canberra 6.
They've outplayed their Canberra opponents, haven't they? They've gone forward very well, Canterbury, and I've personally thought that the Canberra front row hasn't worked hard enough.
Well, there's Joe Thomas with an easy gain for him. Back for Farah. Looks a great kick in behind Johnny Ferguson if he gets the roll on the bounce. Absolutely perfect. You couldn't ask for any better. A metre out.
Well, Andrew Farrell's done everything right today. He was involved up to his boot tops in one try, stood in the tackle, and here he's coming up with kicks like this. This might be the day that Andrew Farrell gets his name in the Man of the Match award, the way he's carrying on. He's playing very, very strong football. And just let me just say in this closing stage that this young fellow, Stewart, scored a magnificent try last week against Gold Coast Tweed up there, and really was a first-class effort.
He's back on his feet, as you saw, feeding that scrum. Belcher. Out for Walters. Kevin Walters, that is. Lost the ball. Canterbury's in possession with about 30 seconds till half-time. There's a real... Well, it had to come the penalty. I can't blame Peter Jackson for being desperate, because Canterbury had the numbers if they got a clean ball.
Yes, there was the sort of a little bit of a wrestling match going on there, and Jackson strikes for it and then comes through over the top and attempts to stop the dummy half getting that ball away. He's conceded a penalty. It's a sinecure. They won't have any trouble with this. It should make it 16 points to 6. It's about 12 metres out, almost in front of the black dot. I think Terry Lamb would like to have a kick like this every day.
There's the siren for half-time. 1 from 3 for Lamb. Sandbacker Jackson might have given away the 2 points here, but as I mentioned, I think the 4 or possible 6 were on. Just like Balmain yesterday, Canterbury with an outstanding first 40 minutes for them. No mistake from Terry Lamb, and it's a great scoreline for the Bulldogs. Why shouldn't they be smiling?
Yes,
there it is, 16-6.
16-6, as you've said, is a pretty comfortable situation to be in at half-time.
They're ready for the second half. Any changes down there, Bill?
There are no changes to either side. Timmy Sheens, but was very concerned about his team's inability to hold the ball, and their defence won off the ruck either side of the play the ball. Phil Gould, well, he warned his side against complacency. He feels you can't give this Canberra team an inch, but he did feel that if Canterbury were able to score first, they'd break Canberra's back.
Okay, so the Canberra side 10 points behind, and we check the first half tackles. Canterbury have made 80 of them. Dunn and Tunk's the best, and Lazarus and Coyne showing the way for Canberra in their tally of 91. They really need to score first, don't they, the way? There's 10 metres from the halfway mark.
Yes, one would think so.
Down for Alchin. Alchin's made an awful mess of that.
Yes, I feel that he intended to let the ball hit him on the stomach, but it bounced up higher than he thought and hit his hands. So it's one of those little errors that a game can turn on. Now, this is giving Canberra a marvellous opportunity. Only 10 metres out now, or 7 metres out now from the goal. They're going to come up with 6 possessions, and that could be a try.
Before the scrum can even go down, though, it's a penalty to Canberra.
Well, Thomas obviously didn't have both arms around his props. And already Canberra are taking the option to keep possession.
Tim Sheens looking on anxiously. As we say, they need to score first, and here comes Lazarus. That's a cross for Ashley Gilbert. 10 metres out. Very slowly to his feet. Gilbert is hurt. Here's Coyne.
Well, they've used 3 just solitary running plays in that situation.
Crossfield goes Stewart and gives it back to Gilbert, and Gilbert scores! Well, I don't know whether that was a ploy by Gilbert, because he looked like he was hurt. Stood there looking dazed, but ran onto the pass as Stewart ran across.
Well, here it is. See it again. Turned back on the inside under the arm of Stewart, and Gilbert gets a very soft try as far as I'm concerned. That was really a non-event. The only person on Gilbert is around his legs. There's nobody up around the chest. Thomas has fallen off, and Folks is around his legs, which leaves him to fall 6 feet, and he'll score a try. So he only had to be within 3 or 4 feet of the line, and he was going to get a try.
That's a very old ploy of a forward being down, either pretending to do up a bootlace or pretending to be injured. You called it that way, Ian, and probably asked the question about referees looking for it in future from a an attacking player well inside his own 5 metres.
Well, Canberra need to score first. They did that. And Belcher has the opportunity to put Canberra much closer to the Canterbury side. But that kick is there, right between the posts. So Canberra back into this football game. It's Canterbury 16 and Canberra 12. Restart. Can Canberra go on with the job? Here's Martin. Right on his own quarter line. I understand the word from the Canterbury dressing room is that Peter Tunks spent the entire 10-minute half-time break flat on his back. So I wonder how long we'll see him in the second half. Peter Jackson. Strong run from him.
He's getting up plenty of momentum there. He was really concerned with getting through the tackle.
Stewart sends this one into the in-goal area. Alchin is there, and it'll go over the touching goal line.
So Canterbury back out to the quarter line for the tap restart. Brandon Lee. A power of work for Canterbury. Come up with a try. Very good game for him so far. Langmack. Hagan. Cuts out Lamb. Farah. Curry. Into the open. Out for Thorne. Can he get to the outside of Martin? And he can't. They took the gamble, Canterbury.
Yes, well, Martin's tackle was an excellent one here. Came across and took him over the sideline. That's the way to do it. And the State Bank replay picked it up very well.
Mistakes. Well, here's a penalty going against Canterbury, so it's all happening for Canberra from the restart of the second half. Bill, Canterbury coming up with a couple of mistakes and allowing Canberra back into this.
Graham, it's just the start that Phil Gould wouldn't have wanted. He warned them of complacency. They knocked the ball on from a kick-off. They then ran out on the second tackle and then gave away a scrum penalty. All of that in 6 minutes. They're going to throw this away if they're not careful.
Phil Gould wouldn't have wanted it, but Tim Sheens, no doubt, was hoping somewhere in the script it was there. Lazarus. Gilbert on the short blind side. Chant coming up now for the Raiders. And they're getting a bit of a roll on with plenty of possession. Walters, Jackson, Clyde goes without it. Belcher, Martin, long pass out that bounced forward. Pass itself being forward and called by referee Annesley.
Yes, a very ambitious pass, this one. He was attempting to pass this from here. Well, I think he intended to get a distance of around about 25 yards, and that's just not on. He's not strong enough to pass the ball that far.
So Canterbury come up through Lamb, who's feeding the scrums with Hagan at 5'8". Nissen, quick play of the ball. He caught their forward snapping. Good gain out to the halfway line. Langmack. Driven back. Canterbury set themselves both sides of the ruck. They go right. Farah, a kicking game of his off Clyde. Bounces into the arms of Ferguson. Well, he dropped it. A real chance was on for Ferguson. The only man he had to beat was Farah.
Yes, just see this for a moment, because the State Bank replay captures it all. It ricocheted off a Canberra player up in the air, down to Ferguson, who knocked it on. There was a possibility of him going 60 yards and scoring there.
Canterbury back in possession. Hagan. All important for them. Try and wrap this game up if they can with a try. To give him that comfort zone again. Lee. Strong tackle. But he'll get up quickly. As I said, he really has taken the ball up well today.
Yes, this was an enormous, strong head-on tackle there. Beautifully timed there by Lazarus.
Langmack again going on down in some strong defence. Last tackle. Lamb. Shape the kick. Well, he's been knocked over by Backo. That's crazy play. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Terry Lamb here is just taken out of the action, and he's been given 5 minutes in the sin bin as Sam Backo. Here it is again. Lamb, the little kick, minutes after he's just run into by Sam Backo and taken out. The referee has seen fit to put the additional penalty on Backo, apart from the penalty goal, which should be very simple. They're going to be without him for 5 minutes, so that's a turning point in this game as far as I'm concerned for Canberra.
Very important chance at goal for Lamb. 2 from 4 for him. And if successful, this one will give Canterbury that converted try gap on Canberra. There he is, from just 11 metres out, just to the side of the upright. Tim Sheen's face tells it all, surely. And naturally, if successful, this kick a field goal, all important to Canterbury, as well as the ball adds to the tension by deciding to roll off the mound. Points in 1988 for Terry Lamb. Makes it 152, 2 of the most important this year for him. Canterbury banks down 18, Canberra 12.
19,000 or just over 19,000 here for this game today. And Canberra now have a 6-point deficit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's right.
And a player short.
And a player short for a few minutes. Well, this second half started much the way the first half did. It was all Canberra. Just 35 metres out now from the Canterbury line. Nissen plays it. Here's Tunks. Caught by Lazarus. Back for Farah. Evaded a couple of defenders and put a little kick through, but it's been picked up by Stewart pretty smartly. Very dangerous kick too as far as Canberra was concerned, because Farah very nearly got the bounce. Ferguson. He may have lost the ball. He has. Langmack comes up with it for Canterbury. So again, little mistakes creeping into Canberra's game, just the way they did in the first half. Alcham runs from dummy half, gain of 10 metres.
And this will be interesting, as I said. Let's see where Canterbury end up on the 4th or 5th tackle here, if they set for a field goal from just outside the quarter.
Well, Brandon Lee's taking it straight ahead. Hagan with a switch of play for Langmack. Last tackle now. Tunks. Able to flick it away. It's back for Farah. The bomb from him. Pouring through after it is a couple of Canterbury players, but Belcher takes it nicely.
Yes, took it magnificently there, leapt in the air, was actually coming down a fraction, so he jumped just a touch too early. Nonetheless, the effort was good.
Now Clyde. It's just short of the quarter line. It's been kicked in the play the ball by Dunn, and he'll be penalised for it. So a relieving penalty for the Canberra side. Jackson will look for touch. It's 10 metres from the halfway mark. He's found it. Martin comes back for the restart. Walder's dummy half, away to Stewart. And then away for Lazarus. Wrestles his way to the halfway line. Dean Lance, Coyne, Gilbert. And Jackson. Looking for a one-handed pass. He had Belcher with him, but couldn't get that pass away. Ferguson from dummy half. Out of one, as you'd expect him to go. And over the quarter line he goes. Quick play the ball. Stewart puts a bomb in the air. Oh, that's a high bomb too. It'll bring rain. It will. Down it comes, but taken nicely by Alcham. And Alcham gets away from it with a good run. Good football.
That was a marvellous catch by Alcham there. Absolutely first class.
Farah now. Caught by Dean Lance just short of the quarter line. Now the Canterbury runners with Nissan taking it up. Big Sam Backo after his 5 minutes in the bin. Ready to come back on. Robin Thorne has it now for Canterbury. Playing back, got a one-handed pass back for Dunn. And Backo, who's rejoined the side now, made the tackle. A big dummy from Thomas. Back for Dunn. And he'll find touch.
Yes, Dunn showing a new aspect to his game, the little right foot grubber kick. Not as elegantly done as some of the backs, but very functional. Goes over the line. State Bank replay showed it.
Stewart works his scrum inside his own quarter. It's gone with the feed. Belcher into the back line. 18 points to 12. It's Canterbury over Canberra. Walters a little scurry from dummy half. Plays it to his brother. Down the blind side is Belcher. Coming away from Martin. Martin up towards the halfway mark before he's pulled down. Plays it back to Walters. Now across to Stewart. And then on to Walters. Cut out pass for Clyde. Then to Jackson. Jackson's on the halfway mark. Can't get the pass away though. Ferguson goes to dummy half. From there he runs. Last tackle signal now for Canberra. The blind side with Walters kicking for touch. Nissan's in a perfect position to take it though and brings it straight back to be caught by Jackson.
So both sides saying to put it together a little bit of attack, maintaining possession for 6 tackles. Nissan slowly to his feet. Somebody else will be asked to play the ball. Well, he says he's okay. He gets to his feet. I would have thought moving a couple of steps off his mark. And the man, of course, everybody talking about at the moment, Steve Mortimer. He's sidelined with Bill Anderson.
Steve, the Bulldogs have got their nose in front at the moment, but you couldn't feel comfortable.
Not at the moment. 6 points, 7 points would be nice, but I think our boys are playing well, holding the ball, controlling the ball a lot better than what Canberra are doing at the moment.
Do you think that's the secret to this one, whoever can play out their 6 tackles the most?
Definitely control the ball. Once you're in front, you just got to control the ball, and that's what our blokes are doing at the moment.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, it was the point that we were just starting to make about the way both sides are starting to get a bit of a roll on Farah. He was shaping to pass and now he's lost it. So there's the mistakes that Mortimer was also talking about. Canberra in possession. Back for Clyde. Switches play for Kevin Walters. Straightens up. Back for Steve Walters. He offloads for Big Sam Backo. On a charge straight through Terry Lamb. Inside the Canterbury Bankstown territory now. Coyne. Look for some support. It was late coming. Canberra the ones having to force the pass. They're 6 points behind. Stewart through the dummy. Tunks didn't fall for it. It's those handling errors. 8-3. Lance for Belcher. Back it comes for Jackson. Keeps the ball alive for Lance. Likewise for Steve Walters. Shaping with a long pass. It was touched by Canterbury, I thought. Ball out for Clyde. He's brought down. Didn't see any signal from Annesley on a restart of tackles. Backo fumbles it. The magician comes back up with the ball. Canterbury keeps on swarming into defence and drives them back about 5 or 6 metres. Last tackle, says Annesley. Stewart shows the ball. Straight across field he goes. Kick through. Hagan is there. Gets outside Jackson. Dean Lance is down in back play with the trainer. Man short in that defensive line at present. Canterbury very bunched now. Looking a little bit tired. Alsham does the right thing by his forwards. Goes for a bit of a scurry. Lance back to his feet. Dunn. Just grafting away the Bulldogs. Brandon Lee. Backo. Strong run. strong tackle. Last tackle for Canterbury now. Farah gets this kick in between Belcher and Ferguson. Just soccer style, traps the ball for himself. Takes on Farah. Back for Ferguson, who straightens up and gets away. Langmack was there and covered offence.
There's no doubt about it. This bloke is a real crowd pleaser. Everyone yells the moment he touches the football.
From Canberra, there he is. Just can't give him any room at all. Stewart, Kevin Walters. Wrapped up by Hagan. The dummy from Belcher. Straight across field. Here's Ferguson with some room to work in. There's Farah's there, and Nissen goes back in field. Lost the ball. One of the few occasions that he's made a mistake this afternoon.
Yes, he actually grabs it. He had a bit of trouble there in the State Bank replay trying to hold it in the first place, and then his arm is touched, and down she goes again. Paul, I think Dunn was the man, but he's still down injured, and some of these players are attending to him at the moment.
Well, I've seen that Ennisley has stopped play.
Well, here he is again. Just watching, you'll see, I think the hand, there it was, just touched the football in his hand and knocked it out. So I think he must sometimes carry the ball just a fraction precariously, because that's one of the weakest parts of his game, is sometimes he does tend to put the ball down.
Matthew Corkery. His own football to warm up.
Well, that's nice.
Nice if you can afford it.
Wasn't he one of the leading try scorers last year?
And a hero for Canberra through that run last year. Lamb goes the blind side. Canterbury now trying to get play deep down into Canberra territory. Keep on mentioning the field goal. Hagan wants it. Just a reverse pass there for Folks. Lamb. Look for Curry. Nearly got right through himself. Langmack has support in Dunn. Doesn't use him. He gets the ball back to Hagan though. Now they're in good position for field goal. Where's Terry Lamb? They still don't want it. Tunks has it. Curry. Kicked very, very deep. Should just bounce dead. Didn't seem to be a lot of thought into the kick. Well, Stewart, did he hurry that ball over the touchline? No. It's gone dead itself.
There didn't seem to be a whole lot of point to the kick the way the ball started out going, but in the end, it was always very, very safe there. Laurie, the young lad had to really knock that after it had gone over the line.
So it's the Raiders. Just a converted try in it. And they're 32 out from their own line. And get the penalty. Canterbury offside.
Well, there seems to be a fairly loud contingent of Canberra supporters here from the roar that went up.
Or anti-Canterbury people.
Yeah, that may be. No, they're all anti-Manly.
I think they're all still drunk from last night.
Yeah, you might be right. I was saying to Ian earlier, there's 25,000 people here yesterday. 20 of them came to cheer for Balmain, and the other 5,000 came to boo Manly.
Well, you saw a shot of Brent Todd on the sideline, ready to go on for Lazarus, we understand. He hasn't gone on yet. We've still got Corkery warming up behind the goal line as well. So some changes about to happen in the Canberra side. Here's Dean Lance getting it away to Coyne. Pretty solidly by Brandon Lee. Stewart. They'll pass away to Coyne and then on to Belcher and then on to Jackson. Jackson had Belcher going around the back of him again. Good play from Canberra. Here's Ferguson. Ferguson is caught though. 33 metres out from the Canterbury line.
Some awfully smart passing by Canberra there, but it didn't get them much.
Stewart has it. Pass out from Martin. Martin's up to the quarter line. He's got some support on the outside from Belcher. No, it wasn't. It was Clyde, I beg your pardon. Walters. A kick that's come off the side of his boot and has gone over the dead ball line on the full.
How to keep the pressure on the opposition. That was a dreadful kick.
Well, there's the change coming up now with Todd, Brent Todd on. And Lazarus was the player who's off. So the restart with Thomas taking the tap and giving it away to Dunn. So Check the scrums. As Canberra come up with the ball, Jackson is caught. Those scrums 5-4 to Canberra and 10-6 the penalties to Canberra. And it's the Raiders on the attack inside the quarter. Sam Bacco. The defence swarms on him, 12 metres out from the Canterbury line. 6 points the difference. Converted try. The scores are level at full time. 10 minutes extra time each way. And here are the Raiders with Clyde. Early Clyde looks for support back inside. Couldn't get the pass away. Pulled down a metre short. Martin goes to dummy half. Todd pulled down a metre short. Martin dummy half again. This time to Coyne. Coyne tries to burrow his way through. Last tackle signal. Very slowly to his feet, Coyne. Stewart throws it out to Gilbert. Gilbert's got support out there from Walters. Out to Ferguson. The pass was forward, I thought, but Ferguson is in to score. No try. Forward pass rule.
Yes, quite definitely a forward pass. Not even a suggestion of an error there. There was no doubt in the wide world that was about 4 or 5 metres forward. Look at the line. Just watch the line. Well, there it was. Now Ferguson had the pace to go on with it at the end of it, but the pass was a bad one, and that's a good decision by Annesley.
Well, close call for the Canberra Raiders. This scrum is down 11 metres out, worked by Terry Lamb for Canterbury. Gone with the feed. Walters up very quickly in defence and assisted by Bradley Clyde. Strong defence from the Raiders. Canterbury get the penalty. Gee, there is some camera support here, isn't there?
There certainly is. They're booing their heads off at the moment. There's a section of the crowd down the front of our stand here that we can't see. And they're packed in there, very, very full.
Thorough kicks for touch. Finds it 10 metres short of halfway. Thomas with a restart, getting it away to Lee. Blacko leads the charge into him.
He's been a workhorse today for this Canterbury side. He's made a lot of mileage.
That's tucked. Now Steve O'Brien getting ready to go on for Canterbury. And we understand that Hagan will be the player who'll come from the field. They're on the halfway mark at the minute. Back for Farah. Walters harasses him. 18 points to 12. Canterbury lead over Canberra. Just the converted try the difference as Alchin tries to thread his way through. Back for Lamb again. Kick charge down by Jackson. Jackson's picked it up. Play on at the referee. Jackson is up to the corner line. Jackson is away. Jackson is going to score for Canberra. Jackson scores.
A remarkable try. I believe Jackson touched the football, but we'll see again. It was my suspicion, but I don't have 100% eyes. Well, I don't believe he did. No, in retrospect, I don't believe he did. He sprinted away. The ball was ricocheted off him. Terry Lamb came in ineffectually at the start there. Then, of course, Joey Thomas trailed him. And Lamb was able to keep him from going around. That was about the best that Lamb could do. See it again.
Rex, I think you've got to ask yourself the question, was Barrett tackled without the football? Yes.
Well, he went over the top of him. I don't believe he tackled him. I don't think there was an attempt to tackle. He was reaching for the football. That's a spectacular try. That's one of those that's going to be contentious for as long as rugby league is played. Those sort of things are going to happen. Somebody will say he tackled the player without the football. Others will say he wasn't going for the tackle. He was merely going for the ball. It's a damn swift try anyway, and that puts them back on level terms.
Read about it in the morning.
About.
Peter Jackson. And Hagan has been replaced in the Canterbury side. What a pressure kick this is for Gary Belcher. Has it placed on the 10-metre mark. 10 metres in from touch. Just inside the corner. This kick could have us all square here. Watch the touch, judges. They haven't moved. It's a goal. We've got a game that's all tied up at the football stadium. 18 points all.
Gary Belcher just got congratulated by his trainer there as Ferguson comes from the field, and Belcher's only trace of emotion was the thumbs up sign.
Well, the chant up now as Corkery's out there. The semi-final football game really is going to come to life. If it wasn't before that try. Down for Stewart. As I mentioned before, Canterbury. Stewart goes away. Canterbury opening up.
That's his little kick start, the Lewis Jones, I call it, that he did last week.
So the Raiders, can they finish the strongest? Todd to his feet for Coyne. That try will have Canberra full of running. And the loser, no doubt not looking forward to having them play. Balmain, the bounce of the ball favouring Canberra. They all went without it. Somebody has to face up to Balmain. The loser, the winner, on to play Cronulla next Sunday. 6 o'clock. The replay Saturday, Sunday, the State Bank big game. Don't miss it. This weekend has certainly whetted the appetites of all league fans. Thomas.
Except Manly supporters.
Lamb. Now they try and get that kicking game in order. It hasn't really been working for them in this second half. Belcher. He only has to contend with Farah. You can't beat him though. Corkery. Canterbury looking for a big set of 6 tackles. Try and keep play down near the Canberra quarter line. They haven't been here for quite a while. From 16-6 down at half-time, the Canberra Raiders have fought back. Jackson. There's the missed tackles. 14 against Canterbury. Remarkable. Stewart again with a big kick downfield. O'Brien's going back for it. He has Nissen with him. Nissen will be next up from dummy half. Fat Curry is standing very wide, calling for it. Bill Canterbury looking at tired side.
They certainly are. Their forwards coming back particularly slowly, Graham. I think the time's come here for Phil Gould to make some judicious use of replacements.
Inside their own 22. There's Sheens screaming out some instructions to the sideline. Lee. Plenty of enthusiasm in the tackles from Canberra. Penalty comes for Canterbury for not getting off him. They really needed this penalty, believe you.
Well, from the sound of it, Canberra have brought a very large contingent of people down here. Very large, like 5,000 or 6,000 people. They're booing everything that goes against Canberra.
Farah finds touch. Canberra have Craig Bellamy getting ready. He's got his own football too. But he doesn't take it home. 35 metres out from the Canterbury line. The Bulldogs have the football. Strong defence from Canberra. 18 points all. Canterbury and Canberra. As Tunks is caught by Dean Lance, but managed to get a pass away to Thomas.
Well, Canterbury are all in a bunch at the moment. They're looking a little bit dilapidated insofar as their conditions concerned.
Dunn's kick was straight down to Belcher. Belcher is about 30 metres out from his own line. Clyde. On the blind side is Walters. He's got support from Belcher. Belcher's pass back inside for anyone who wants it. Dean Lance it was who picked it up. Here's Todd. Caught by Dunn. Dean Lance is down, injured again. He's been injured a few times in this game. Stewart sends his kick across field. Robin Thorne is there to try and pick it up. It's bounced very awkwardly for him. Got away from Walters, bringing it back though. Gilbert's coming across in cover. He got away from Gilbert. Caught though by Martin, just on the corner line. Here's Terry Lamb. Almost through Lamb. Lee Lance is up and at him again as Folks brings the ball away. It's been a great second half of football this.
There's
There's only 8 minutes to go now. This is starting to get wide open too. They're really throwing the ball around like a hot potato.
18 points together. Langmack will play at 5 metres from the halfway mark. The scores are level at full time, 10 minutes each way. Extra time will be played. Curry got the pass away to O'Brien. O'Brien's beaten one. He's still going, O'Brien. Good run. Curry dummy half, back for Tunks. And then on for Lamb.
Forward
pass
pass.
that looked forward a mile. It's been ruled play on. I can't believe this.
Oh dear, oh dear. He wasn't even standing back deep there. He was very nearly in line with that one.
Gee whiz, there's some very ordinary decisions on the forward passes here today. Tunks on the quarter line, ridden into the ground by Big Sam. From dummy half goes Alchin. Alchin's beaten one. Good run from him. Just 11 metres out. Thomas from dummy half. Had support from Langmack. Back inside for Tunks. On to Lamb. Lamb's caught by Lance. It's still got the pass away to Dunn. Now the defence gets to him. Plenty of action here as Lamb tries a field goal. And it's there. Canterbury stick their nose in front.
Yes, that was a well-taken field goal by Terry Lamb. It didn't look anything in the air. It just went end over end. It was a weird-looking kick, but it counts a point, and they're up 19-18. I feel that the referee erred badly in not giving that penalty, and I think he erred also in giving him 6 to go because the ball was kicked into the Canberra player.
Yeah, it didn't look as though it was charged down. I was going to call for that one.
No, I think he's made a double bunger error on that occasion. I'm very sorry for Canberra on that. And it looks like Dean Lance has had a little bit to say here. He's been called over. And giving the rounds of the kitchen from the referee and the touch judges.
He's been sent off.
He sent him. Well, I have no idea what he's been sent off for.
Well, it's something to do with the touch judges. He's abused one of them or...
Off. He's saying off.
Well, that means Bellamy's got to leave with him because he was replacing Lance.
Well, that's what that's all about. Well, sensations here at the football stadium. Real drama here. Perhaps this is what it's all about. We'll watch for Lance. You watch the football game.
Well, there's no Lance in shot. That's Gary Coyne.
No, nothing in that.
That's going to be a mystery as far as I'm concerned, unless I can see some visual evidence of what he did.
Oh, headaches for Tim Sheens. Inside the last 5 minutes of a gripping semi-final. Billy, any word on the charge?
Well, look, I've spoken to Dean Lance, Graham, and asked him why he's been sent off, and he said he didn't know. Now, that wouldn't be the case. Obviously, there would be some charge against him. I don't think it's foul play. It can only be for attacking a touch judge verbally because the touch judge was the one who reported it.
All right. Controversy at the Sydney Football Stadium in the major preliminary semi-final.
Well,
Corkery to bring it back.
That brings me back to 1959 when I was sent off for abusing a touch judge for doubting his parentage and got sent off. I did.
Down to 12 men. Canberra. They've come back strongly in the second half. Now Bacco's wound up. Pushes a pass back for Gilbert. Canterbury defence comes in very, very quickly. Walters out to Belcher. Corkery, plenty of defence there, chips over the top. Bouncing there for Alsham to bring it back too. More Canberra players warming up on the sideline, Bill.
Yes, both second rowers will be coming off and their places will be taken by 21 Bellamy and 24 Ellis.
So Canterbury now just short of their own halfway line. Nissen. No mistakes in possession of the ball for Canterbury, for that matter, both sides. Tunks. The chant going up around the stadium for both teams. Real semi-final football. Langmack. The ball's got to be kept at this end of the field as far as Canterbury are concerned. Dunn. Another who's played powerfully today. Last tackle. Standing very flat, the Canterbury players. Thomas for Lamb. The kick into the end goal. They'll be trying to pin Belcher down here. He's got to it. There's Thorne. Great defence.
Yes, the chase there on the State Bank replay is an excellent one by Terry Lamb. He's assisted ably by Thorne, and they get Belcher over the touch-in goal line very, very smartly. There seemed to be something said between Belcher and Lamb there too. I don't know what it was, just the heat of the moment.
The replacements have been made. Craig Bellamy in 21 and Chris Houghton, I should say Grant Ellis in 24 are out there for both second rowers. Farah. Canterbury with 6 more tackles. Straight up the middle goes Farah. They're going to talk about this match. Controversial. Listen. There was a doubt. Well, we believe the charge against Lance will be for a high tackle on Paul Dunn. Thomas just out of dummy half. Curry now. Likewise. Out for O'Brien. Can he push the defence away? He can't. And he put a foot right onto the touchline, says the touch judge.
Well, I don't think he went anywhere near the touchline. We'll see it again, unless I'm seeing things. But the player that tackled him did. He didn't put a foot near the line.
Walters. 19-18. 1 point will get Canterbury home. They're clinging to it. Canberra. They've got the players that can produce a try from very deep in their own territory. Bellamy. Oh, what a tackle from Thomas. Especially this late in the game.
Yeah, gets the salute there from Langmack too. This kick is not a good one. Oops, a daisy.
Well, the knock on. The crowd was screaming at the referee. Alston wants to argue.
I suggest he get on with the game. There's the knock on the State Bank replay, and Tunk's picking it up.
Not an easy decision.
Not an easy decision, but the right one on that occasion.
Ball nearly looking as though it came off the head of Steve O'Brien. Penalty to Canberra. We go down to the last minute with the Raiders in possession. The crowd are still hooting. Well, they're not going to fight touch.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
All Canterbury Bankstown will have to do is play out time. They've got to hang on to the ball. 19-18. 40 seconds to go. What a semi-final. And unfortunately, we're going to hear plenty about some decisions in this match. Alston, straight out of dummy half. Inside the last 30 seconds. Looking likely for the Raiders to shape up to Balmain and Canterbury to take on the Sharks. The crowd will be giving us a count once we get down to the last 10 or 5 seconds. And you can judge for yourself at the end of this one, the cheers or the hooting. The crowd counting us down. 2 seconds. Last tackle, there goes the siren. It's all over. Canterbury have just got home after a remarkable comeback by Canberra. Listen to the crowd. Ecstatic as Canterbury, but they've got home by 1 point, 19-18.
Yes, Canterbury 19. Lee, Langmack and Lamb were the try scorers. Lamb 3 goals and a field goal. For Canberra, their 18 points came from Ferguson, Gilbert and Jackson. You'll note that the same number of tries was scored by each side. Belcher, 3 goals. The only difference was that solitary, despised by many field goal, which counts 1 point. That's the difference in this match.
Mal Meninga, John Ferguson.
With the Parramatta coach, John, to be the match of the season as we see the Parramatta Eels come onto the paddock. Andrew Leagues, there's Bugden. This is a good side too. Former Penrith player Izzard, Brett Kenny coming along, and the reserves. And there's the referee, of course, Bill Harrigan for today's game. I'm looking forward, as I mentioned before, calling this one, Tony, yourself.
Yes, Peter. Well, I must say that I was here when the record crowd was made back in 1984, and I'd say this crowd here is very, very close to that record. I'm not sure whether it's big.
There's Bill Harrigan, our referee for today's game in centre field. The conditions absolutely perfect. Our man on the sideline, Anthony Moore. Just what's the field like?
Well, as Tony would say, Peter, it's weather fine, track good, and the big crowd here's fired up. There's a bit of a blue in reserve grade, and the crowd's on the edge of their seat. Should be a big one.
Certainly is. Andrew Leeds placed the ball for the kickoff. Richard Keeley's our statistician. We'll go to Richard shortly to find out a little bit about the history of these two teams. And there's certainly been some classic battles over the years. What's this one going to be like? We'll soon know as Gary Belcher brings the ball up. Richard, you've been going through the history books. What can you tell us about these teams?
We've come up. Parramatta's had the wood on the Raiders since 82, the inception of the Raiders. They've only won 3 out of 13 clashes. The last win was here at Seaford Oval back in 1986. The Raiders got up 19-12. The corresponding game last year, Parramatta gave Canberra a hiding. They were triumphant 40 points to 12. But we'll wait and see the outcome of today's game.
Well, there's a great kick from Ricky Stewart, and what a clash we've got here. We've got the up-and-coming Australian halfback, in my opinion, Ricky Stewart, against the master, Peter Sterling. Keep your eyes on this one. Ricky Stewart, I can tell you, is primed for a big one. Peter Sterling coming back after that injury scare which had him off the paddock for a couple of weeks. Let's hope that all's right with Peter Sterling. I'm sure the specialist wouldn't have let him go back on the field if it hadn't have been. As we see Parramatta with the ball about 40 metres out from their try line. Brett Kenny, who's been in sparkling form for the Eels, offloads the ball. Here's a player back on the paddock, Mark Bugden, and Peter Wynn takes it up. There was a doubt about Peter Wynn before the game, but he's on the paddock. And here comes Jeff Bugden, charging through, almost straight through the gap too, tackled around the legs by Ricky Stewart. Brent Todd over the top. Comes the blind side to Peter Sterling, puts the ball through. It's not a good kick, it's charged down in fact. And the Canberra Raiders captain, Dean Lance, has got the ball. Johnny Ferguson, who played yesterday, goes across field. It's going to be interesting just to see how these 5 Canberra players have responded to physiotherapy treatment to see if they're okay for today's game. Of course, one of the players who had a good game was Bradley Clyde. Had a nasty head clash late in the game. He was in doubt, but he's on the paddock now, and he has been in great form for the Canberra Raiders so far this season. As Canberra work play out from their line, Walters, a late tip for an inclusion in the Queensland State of Origin team, goes back to Ricky Stewart down the blind side, kicks beautifully for the sideline. The ball going for the line. That's a great kick from Stewart. 2 fine kicks already in the match, and we've had only about 3 minutes of play, Tony Campbell.
Yes, Peter, I'm sure the Raiders will be looking for more of those kicks from Stewart. That was a sensational kick, and the pressure's right on Parramatta now, as this scrum will take down about 7 or 8 metres out from the try line, and the scrum will be fed by Peter Sterling. The scrum goes down and the ball is in, and it's a win to Parramatta. Sterling will play the ball on the far side, plays the ball back to Langford. Langford on the burst, but he runs into a lot of trouble there, and he's brought down about 16 metres out from his own try line. Plays the ball back to Bugden. On it goes to Izzard now, but the defence is up very quickly indeed. Bradley Clyde was there, and also Brent Todd. The ball is played, Parramatta in possession, and they're trying to force play away from their own goal line, getting out of that danger area now. The ball is played quickly. On it goes to Sterling, who kicks. It goes over the head of Ferguson. Ferguson runs back, but getting there first, and this now is Belcher. Belcher running across field, gets away from looking to link up with the players on the far side. Finally got the pass away to Carey. Carey got the pass to Meninga. Meninga inside the halfway line, but he throws a loose pass, and it's regathered on the far side by Parramatta. About 5 metres inside the Eels' territory. They're in possession over halfway now. 9 metres inside the Raiders' half. The ball is played back to Sterling. On it goes to Peter Wynn, and Wynn is brought down about 10 metres inside the Raiders' territory. Wynn to play the ball, plays it back to Bugden. Bugden working the blind side, got the pass out. It goes now to Izzard, and Izzard is driven into the ground on the far side of the field. 13 metres inside the Raiders' territory. The ball is played. It goes to Sterling. Sterling, a cut-out pass to Wynn, and Wynn brought down about 9 metres inside the Raiders' half. The ball is played quickly. There's another. That ball rebounds off one of the Raider players.
6 to go.
6 to go now. and it's Parramatta in possession. Midway between the half and the quarter line. Sterling offloads the pass. It goes to Kenny. Kenny looking for support, but he couldn't get the pass away, and he's brought down midway between the half and the quarter line. The ball is played. Sterling, a cut-out pass now. It goes out to the centre three-quarter, which is Casato, and Casato brought down midway between the half and the quarter line. The referee blows the whistle, and the penalty goes to Parramatta.
Well, Parramatta showing that they're certainly ready to throw the ball around. Two great kicks we saw in the early part of the game from Canberra, but at the moment it's a penalty to the Parramatta side, well within kicking range of Andrew Leeds, the former international. Rugby Union international, who had a somewhat slow start to his league career. Well, I suppose anyone with 8 games under his belt certainly could smile to find himself in a Parramatta first-grade team. Andrew Leeds has. He's come through his last 2 matches in fine form. So he's got a dry paddock to see what he can do today. I saw Andrew Leeds play for Parramatta Rugby Union side in a grand final when they absolutely demolished Randwick. He can find some of that form on the Rugby League paddock. You're going to see a fine player in Andrew Leeds over the years. Well, here he goes. Let's see what his kicking talent's like. And we notice on the right-hand side that Mal Meninga is down. There was a doubt about him as far as his groin injury at training yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on Mal and we'll let you know. As Andrew Leeds moves in, puts the ball straight between the posts. So the score here at Seaford Oval after just 5 minutes of the match. Parramatta leading Canberra 2 points to 0. Sideline, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that Meninga might come from the field. That's going to be a blow for the Raiders, but we'll just see how play transpires. Anyway, Parramatta's drawn first blood. Only early days yet. We've got 75 minutes left as the ball comes back to Atkins. Brett Atkins has been playing good football, but he wasn't in the starting lineup for the Eels today. Eric Groth was supposed to take his place, but he dropped out. And because of that, Atkins gets his chance to redeem himself. Andrew Langford taking the ball up strongly. Goes to Bugden. Mark Bugden. Jeff, of course, with the ball now at dummy half. It'll win. Tackled around the legs by number 40. None other than Laurie Daly. I don't think you'll see him in number 40 for very long. Today you will, of course, but in the future I think that he'll be in the team. But let's go back to the game as Peter Sterling goes charging through. Gets the ball to Casato. This is going to be a try. Well, a dreadful bounce to Gary Belcher. Peter Sterling came charging through, the ball dropped neatly into his hands, and he offloaded to Casato for a soft try in the 6th minute of the match here at Seaford Oval.
Yes, that was a very awkward bounce for Gary Belcher, as you said, Peter. And there is the try for Parramatta, and that try comes up after about 7.5 minutes of play in the first half. Here we go again. The break is made, and over they go, Parramatta, and they've scored the first try of the match.
Well, that stunned the big crowd here. They're expecting the Raiders to draw first blood. They find them down 6 points to 0. That man, Peter Sterling. What a dreadful bounce. What a great kick, I suppose we could say. Put it into no man's land. The ball set up and kicked back.
Yeah, well, we've only had about 7 minutes of play, Peter. We've seen already that I think the kicking game is going to play a big part in this game today. Ricky Stewart's found touch with a couple of great kicks. Peter Sterling has had a couple of kicks. I think the outcome of the game will depend on these two in their kicking game.
Certainly do. Well, let's have a look at another type of kicking game which puts points on the board. It's goal kicking. As Leeds leads in, he puts it across the face of the goal, though. Andrew Leeds misses the conversion. We'll go to a break now here at Seaford. The score 6 points to 0 as Brett Atkins goes through a tackle. Well, sloppy defence from the Raiders. They've got to hold them up in this part of the field if they hope to get into this game. On the far side, Casato bringing the ball out. Bugden at dummy half. Been a little bit shaky, the Raiders, early in this match as Carey and Daly combine. Put Ticehurst down. Loose pass, finally picked up by Sterling. Sterling finds Leeds. Strong tackle on Leeds. Walters and O'Sullivan. Goes to Sterling on the blind side. He kicks for the sideline. Better bounce for Belcher this time. He traps it with his foot and brings play back up towards the halfway. Goes down the blind side. Can't beat. When will he go over the sideline? Almost. Belcher did well to stay in. Carey. There's a penalty. Parramatta inside the 5 and a relieving penalty to the Raiders with 10 minutes gone in the match. They'll kick for the sideline, so here comes Canberra's opportunity to attack the Parramatta line. We'll see O'Sullivan in centre field now receiving treatment. Looks like he's having trouble stretching out as well.
Parramatta are looking pretty well organised in the first 10 minutes of the match, Peter.
Certainly are. Unfortunately, keep saying that Canberra look a little bit injured. But anyway, Brent Todd takes the ball up only about 15 metres or so away from the Parramatta line. And here's a penalty. Well, Bugden didn't even try and get off the man then. And the penalty rightly went to the Canberra Raiders. And here should be an opportunity for Laurie Daly to put points on the board. The first points on the board for the Canberra side. Parramatta leading 6 points to 0. Only a converted try in it. He comes across. Of course, Daly played yesterday, scored the first try for country. Didn't make much difference in the end, though. Said he got up in the final minutes of the match to win fairly convincingly the match, which I thought was, to tell the truth, quite boring.
The Raiders won't be looking for too many injuries today. Of course, we've had a doubtful over Meninga. He was in some doubt early in the game. O'Sullivan's already received injury, plus the 5 players backing up, Peter. So the Raiders will be hoping that they can keep 13 fit players on the field.
Yes, well, it seems strange when you've got a side like Parramatta with players Brett Kenny, Peter Sterling, Peter Wynn. They're usually the players backing up after representative matches, Tony.
Certainly, Peter.
The old brigade, so to speak.
That's right.
But on this occasion, Parramatta fresh for this big game. As Laurie Daly moves back, steps to the left, the big crowd hushed as Daly moves in. Has been kicking superbly. What's this one like? It's a shocker. It goes back to Wood. Can he get the ball back over the try line? No, he can't. So Parramatta will have to kick the ball from their own try line. The Canberra Raiders to get the ball back.
We've had 11 minutes of play in the first half, and Andrew Leeds will restart play from the underneath the goalpost. There's the kick by Leeds. It's a good long kick back down towards halfway. There to receive the ball is Laurie Daly. Daly on the burst, 10 metres inside the Parramatta territory. He's brought down in a good tackle by Mark Laurie. The ball is played quickly. And Dean Lance with the ball now, 30 metres out. Lance plays the ball in centre field. It's passed on. It goes to Stewart. Stewart, a little dummy, tried to go through the gap, but it closed up very quickly. And he's brought down 28 metres out from Parramatta's goal line. The ball is played. On it goes to Todd on the burst, but he's brought down very solidly indeed by the Bugden brothers. The ball is played quickly. Out it goes from O'Sullivan. On it goes now to Meninga. A little kick over the head, but it's straight into the arms of Andrew Leeds. And Leeds is... he tries to take play back up towards his 22-metre line, but the Raider defence was up very quickly indeed. On the far side of the field, this is Ticehurst, and Ticehurst is brought down very quickly indeed by Laurie Daly. The ball is played. Out it goes now. Langford, this is Andrew Langford, and Langford tackled just inside his own 22-metre line, right in centre field. He'll play the ball back. Mark Bugden as dummy half, offloads the pass to Wynn. Wynn on the burst, but he's dumped heavily to the ground. Lazarus, one of the tacklers there. And also Walters. The ball is played. Parramatta in possession inside their own quarter line. Out it goes now, and this is Mark Laurie. And Laurie got his pass away to Sterling on the burst, right up the centre of the field. On it goes to Izzard. Stands up on the tackle, looks for support, but he can't get the pass away. And he's brought down right on the halfway line. Izzard plays the ball from the dummy half. It goes to Sterling. On it goes now to Langford. A flick pass back inside. It goes to Brett Atkins, and they've lost the ball. Raiders back in possession, midway between the half and the quarter line. It's Lazarus playing the ball back. On it goes to Ferguson. Ferguson has a bit of a run. Out of one. Ferguson almost through the gap, and he's brought down about a metre or so inside Parramatta's half. The ball is played quickly. Out it goes to Bradley Clyde now, and Clyde is brought down in a desperate tackle midway between the half and the quarter line. He'll play the ball. Coyner's dummy half. Got the pass from Stewart. On it goes to Daly on the far side. Then Carey. Carey back inside to Daly. And Daly was almost into the clear, but he was ankle tapped. He's lost the ball, and the ball goes into touch. Only about 9 metres out from Parramatta's try line. Over on the far side of the field.
Great play from both sides. Peter Sterling coming into play for the Parramatta team. We saw Ricky Stewart combining